meet everyone. Welcome back to Midnight Fantasy Creation. Today we are doing a nice fall festive light up trinket box because these have been looking absolutely fantastic. They double as a trinket box, and a nice light up ornament, like, you know, seasonal ornament. And today we are doing the acorn. So we have a top and the bottom, and we are going to be putting in that sinker light, one of the white sinker lights, into the top. Looks like this one is going to be nice deep. So as long as I can fill it up to the bottom of this rim, that'll be good, because this is a nice deep one. And then we have the bottom, the base of the trinket. So I am going to be painting the lid a nice copper metallic color, and if I can figure out where I got this, I will link it below. But it came in a nice box of, let's see, 6 different metallic colors, and we've got silver, gold, like 3 different kinds of golds, a bronze, and a copper. So we are doing it in copper today. I'm thinking that will look the best. Kind of more realistic yet festive at the same time. And as always, I will be taking off any pigment right off of the protective lid because I do not like wasting anything. Now these metallics are actually quite intense. I don't know how well they would work with clear. I haven't tested these out. I haven't put my little 3 different colors on the lid like I do with, say, things like this. I do need to do a whole bunch of these. Putting them on these lids might be a little weird, but I'll figure it out. Because I do want to see how they're going to react with the different color, like, fill-in bases. So for this, anyways, I will be putting black in here. And we're doing a nice transparent, I forget what color it said it was. No, it's orange. I think it says it's transparent gold, but I have to double check. Of course, if you like seeing me do these videos, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell. It will tell you when I get new videos out. Like any of the videos you like. And definitely share them with others that you know like this kind of stuff, because that helps out tremendously. I do want to thank all of the subscribers that I do currently have. I appreciate it. And anyone who has commented, thank you so much. I do love the comments. I do my best to make sure I read them at a nice timely fashion. But if I don't get to you right away, I do apologize. But so far I've had lovely people on with lovely little comments, and I do appreciate it. It means the world to me, including my sister, apparently. Alright, so for these more difficult areas, you can flip out the mold a little bit. Just be careful. You try not to touch any of the edges. You can use the back to hold onto it to get a little more leverage. And I'm not too worried about the rim because I can get that easily. I just want to make sure I get all of this in here. Just gonna clean up my mess real quick. We are gonna set this aside and we are gonna mix up some resin. I'm gonna mix the resin off camera, but I will put you guys back on when I get ready to mix the pigment, and I'll show you what pigment I use and how much I use of it. So we will be back after I'm done mixing the resin. Alright, so we are back. I'm done mixing. We are using the 2-part 2-to-1 ratio deep pour resin, of course, to make sure I don't have as many bubbles as possible. And I mixed a total of 6 ounces. So 4 of part A and then 2 ounces of part B. And then I mixed this for 5 minutes. I actually did a pretty good job at not getting too many bubbles in this, which is really good. I don't have a bubble extractor. I do hope to get one eventually. That would be nice. nice gift, maybe a nice gift for myself for Christmas. We'll see. So we are going to be using, like I said, I think it was golden. Here we go. So we are going to be using the golden color resin, and I will show you what I am trying to accomplish. So I want a nice acorn color, and I did make this. This is going to be not exactly the one I'm going to be doing in another video, but I definitely want to achieve this nice acorn color because I think it looks really nice, and I think it'll look really good in the molds. But I will be doing a video on the acorn necklace. I did do one with fall leaves in it. I think that came out absolutely amazing. So that is the one I will be doing on video, as opposed to that plain one, which still looks good, but you know. Anyways, so 6 ounces. I'm not separating this from the lid because we are going to be putting black pigment in it. I did not measure this, so I don't know how much resin is going to be needed in this mold. So I am just going to do the whole 6 ounces, and if I need to make more, I'll make more. If I don't, then I'll just throw the black right into it. So we are going to get started. I'm going to start off with, let's see, last time we did, like, what was it, 20? I'm going to do 10. And then we are going to mix this up real quick. Well, not real quick, but nice and easily. And of course, I'm going to fast forward this whenever I can. So no, I'm not actually mixing this super fast if you see this thing start to whip around. Make sure you do scrape your sides, get everything off, because sometimes the pigment does stay on the sides a little bit, and of course on your tool, make sure you get that off. I do kind of like this color as it is, but I don't know if I want to go maybe a little bit darker. This looks a little more yellow than the necklace, and I'm not sure it's because if it's not saturated enough. The alcohol inks aren't going to get too hazy on you, at least not to my knowledge. I've never had anything hazy from an alcohol ink unless it was like specifically a black or a white. I don't want it too dark, but I don't want it too light either. I do have brown. I might just put 1 dab of brown in. And those of you that don't know me, I recycle absolutely everything. So this sucker is stiff, but I am still using it for various projects. That is very dark. Should I chance it? All right, we are gonna do a tiny bit of brown, just 1 little dab. Nothing too intense. I just want it dark. I just want to kind of knock some of the yellow out of it. Now, I've never tested the color theory on these alcohol inks. In theory, if you want to make something more brown, you use the complementary color to whatever you're using. So this was very yellow. If I really wanted to do color theory, I could have put purple in it to make it a little bit more on the brown neutral side. But this brown is actually doing pretty good. I mean, it still looks a little yellow, but it's more of a nice acorn brown color. It's only really yellow when you have it up against the stirring stick. So I'm actually liking that. So 10 drops of the gold and 1 drop of the brown, and that is a beautiful color. That's nice and mixed. I'm going to put these away before I lose them because I am good at losing things. Like the cap to this thing, I've already lost it. Okay, well, I will look for that later. I'm just going to put it over there and hopefully I don't dry it out. Alright, so we are going to pour this from up high and nice and slow to reduce any bubbles. Any residual bubbles left should go away by the time this cures. Now, I've only had 1 project where I had, still had some bubbles left that didn't quite go away. And I'm hoping I don't have any issues with any of the other ones. As always, I'm going to stop here for a second. This mold has a little of a divot in it, and I'm not too... Oh, that's why it was stuck to itself. Okay. I was about to say, I'm not too happy with that little divot in there, and I think I just solved that problem. So we are gonna try and make sure there's no bubbles anywhere. Pinch any of the little edges, the corners. I mean, there's not too much decoration to this, so I'm not worried about it getting trapped in, like, say, the jackal's face. That came out pretty good. If you are interested in the pumpkin, the jackal pumpkin that I did, the light up one, definitely check out the old videos. I also did a autumn light up pumpkin, so definitely check out that video as well. Oh, I should have put this in my tray. Shoot. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to grab my tray before I forget so I can move this out of the way without any issues. I'm not putting this in the curing machine of any kind because I want the bubbles to come out. And the curing machine is basically going to make it cure too fast. I also do want to make sure I kind of top this off as best as I can. I'll probably leave that there for now. Worst case scenario, I can put some resin on later because the deeper and the bigger the mold I've noticed, the more the top, it like shrinks a little bit and it leaves a bit of a divot. Sometimes it's not a bad thing, but the edges can get sharp sometimes, so you got to be careful. I usually top them off. All right, I'll give it one more spritz. Put this aside, and then I'm going to grab my black pigment powder. I'll be right back. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Now it used, base of that pretty much just used the entire 4 ounces of resin. So we'll see if the top is 2 ounces. I'm really hoping it is because I don't want to have to mix more. I mean, worst case scenario, it'll be fine. I always have projects that I need to do, so I can always use the extras in another project. But for the sake of the video, I will definitely let you know how much I actually use. So I got my scoop. We're gonna scoop, and maybe a little less than that. It doesn't need that much. These are pretty well pigmented. Don't get too transparent, so a nice scoop. Put that in. If we need to add more, we always can. And then I am gonna stir this. You should not notice any of that gold. I mean, worst case scenario, you're not going to see it in the lid anyways, unless you flip it upside down. So I am not too worried about it being able to see the brown, but see, I barely put anything in there, and that is actually really well pigmented. And you can't even tell that there's gold in it, not even as it drips. So that is perfect. I want it dark enough to give it a nice dark background for the lid. And I'm going to put this in the tray too. I need to go grab that again. All right, so we're going to put this in here and try and move this a little farther over so you guys can see that. All right, and we're just going to pour, and hopefully this is all I am going to need for this. We will see. And of course, I got a nice stem right here, so we're just going to pinch that a little bit. Make sure there's no bubbles in there. That's doing good. It's just a straight stem, so should be all set. And just slowly pour in the rest. Right, that is not enough. So I'm going to scrape this as best I can, and we are going to get some more resin mixed up and put the black in. So that was 2 ounces. I say we probably only need 1 more ounce. Now I don't want to get it past this rim because I want to make sure there's enough room to put that sinker light in without it, sinking all the way, because I want to be able to take the batteries out and change them. Because I do not like buying something where once the batteries or the light dies, you can't use it. I mean, with this you can, because technically it is a trinket box, but I want it to be more than just a trinket box. All right, I will be back with the mixed resin. All right, so I mixed up some more resin. I put some more black pigment in it. Of course, now I have a bunch left over, so if this takes more than that 1 ounce I set aside, we will know. So that's 3 ounces. I'm thinking 1 more ounce, but the heck, why not? Because not even touching the rim. So I'm gonna grab that the stuff that I had left from when I had to mix more, and pour another ounce into my cup, and then we will pour that in. Now I forgot to mention, we are using the black mica powder from Let's Resin. This stuff is actually reasonably priced, and you get a whole bunch and you don't need a lot, just so you know. I'll have everything that I can linked below in the descriptions for you guys to find. All right, let's see if that 1 ounce, on top of that 1 ounce, is enough. If I go a little over the rim, I'm fine with that. Perfect. So that took 4 ounces. So a total of 8 ounces so far. We are going to need to make some more once we put the sinker light in, and I will let you know how much I mix up for that. And for that, I usually just do a nice, easy 1-to-1 epoxy resin. Takes, you know, half the time to cure, because we don't need it to be totally like, we don't need such a thin viscosity for that. Alright, so I've learned my lesson for a few of these. I usually do really good at remembering to take bubbles out when I'm not videoing, but for some reason when I video, I always forget to do this. So I'm going to do this right on camera. Make sure you get any bubbles out. I don't see anything here, but with this mica powder, it's very hard to tell. So I'm trying to pinch this and release any bubbles, where if there are any, as best as I can without messing with the mica powder in the actual top. I don't think there's any in here. I'm done messing with that. I'm going to be very careful with this alcohol because I don't want to ruin the rim, the mica powder, but you can definitely see some bubbles coming into that surface. And that is looking pretty darn good. So we're gonna let this cure. This is gonna completely cure before, and then we're gonna demold this on camera. And then when this is cured enough for me to put that sinker light in without it actually sinking into the lid, we will finish this. So I will be back when this is cured enough to put the sinker light in. All right, I will see you guys then. Alright, so we are back to put the sinker light in the top of the acorn. This is cured enough where I can poke it and it's just leaving a little bit of an indentation, and then it's going away. I misplaced my black mica powder, and this is already starting to get hot and cure on me, and I don't have the time to look for it. So we are going to do the black liquid pigment from Sigwong. I'm gonna shake this up. We're just gonna put enough to darken it. Right now I have, what is this? I have 2 milliliters. I really don't need 2 milliliters. It's large. It's a larger lid than the pumpkins that I did. And the 1 milliliter was enough to have, like, to fill the bottom of this. Now this needs a little more resin in it, but if I put the black in, actually, you know what? I might pour some of this in a cup. Do I have a cup? Yes, let me grab a cup. I'm gonna pour some in the cup to put this pigment in so we can top that a little bit. All right, so I got one of these little silicone cups. I'm just gonna pour, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna as much as I can in there. And I'm not gonna put any pigment in just yet, just in case I need to pour some back. But that sucker took about 10 milliliters. Perfect. So we are gonna put just enough black to darken this. I'm not worried about it being too tensely black. This is super pigmented anyways. I probably could have gotten away with a couple of drops, but I literally just put 4 drops in there without even thinking. Where's my stirring stick? So we're gonna stir this up. It's already getting really thick. So this is probably gonna have bubbles galore. Again, not too worried about them because you're not gonna see them. But I do wanna make sure they're not gonna rise to the surface in huge clumps. So this is starting to get really thick, which might actually make it easier to put it in the bottom of the light. So back when I did the jack-o'-lantern, I put it in and then I flipped it upside down and dropped it in there, and then the sucker swam around and like literally cured halfway off the side. I found putting it in the bottom to get rid of the air is fine, but then flipping the top and putting it on this worked way better, and it basically created a suction cup effect. And I haven't had any issues with the bubbles coming out from underneath because of me filling this, and that's exactly what we want. Oh, if I'm not on camera, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So we filled this, and we have some micro bubbles. This is going to be the first time I put rubbing alcohol on the bottom. We'll see if that works. We're going to take this lid, and we're going to put it on the... Oh, something in there. Come on, get out. Out, out, out. Okay. So we're going to take the lid, and we're going to flip it upside down, and we're going to put this on, and then you're going to flip the whole thing over, and that causes a nice little suction where you need some effort to move this. So that works absolutely fantastic. And we're just basically going to fill this up with the black resin. And I don't remember if I already mentioned this, because I'm kind of rushing a little bit because, like I said, this is starting to cure on me. I don't want it to fast cure. It's already getting super thick, so I apologize if I'm rushing. But anyways, the curing machine is warming up for me. I have just a very basic, generic curing machine. I do not like the one from Let's Resin. Love their products, like their mica powder is awesome, their resin is awesome. I got their heated mat. I thought it would be really great because it has a timer on it, which is totally awesome, but there's no temperature settings. So it gets ridiculously hot almost immediately, and you can't adjust it. And I've found that to be an issue for some of my previous projects that I put on this video with random warping. Even though I finally found a level table, or finally got my table level, I thought it was because, like, I'm not saying the room isn't shifting, because I still get things off-centered, and I'm not even putting it in a curing machine. I'm just letting it sit out in the open. But that was really what the issue was for a lot of the extreme, like, resin moving from one side to the other, is because it was too hot, too fast, and it just caused issues. So their curing machine is just like their curing mat. You can't adjust the temperature, and I absolutely do not like that. So I will link the curing machine that I have currently in the descriptions below. You can get it on Amazon. It's from No Name Brand. You literally can pick one, go on it, and then like scroll all the way down to see if you can find one cheaper. Like literally find the cheapest one, and it's the same thing. And there's a curing machine. They're a little cheaper than the Let's Resin, but not by much. I think they're like $40. I forget how much the Let's Resin one is. I could be wrong. It could be a $20 difference, and I'm just spacing it because it's been a while since I've looked at their stuff, because I know I had it in my wish list at one time, and then when I got the mat as a something just for now, and then work, save my money up for that later, I found out it's not what I want. So that almost took the entire 10 milliliters. I'm going to put the top on, so I want to hit this with some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to set it aside and try to pop some of these bubbles. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I do apologize. I'm going to try and put some of that Oh, I'll get these out of the way. I don't need those. I know we had a dab of brown, so I'm going to move this off to the side because this is probably going to need to take some more bubbles out. I'm going to mix up the golden. We're going to put probably just a drop in this. I'm going to need a stick. Beautiful stick. And we're gonna put a drop. No, let's do 2 drops of this. 1, 2, and then a tiny drop of brown, because we put a little brown to kind of cut some of that yellow out of it. And I just want that. Oh yeah, see, this is getting really thick. I'm gonna do my best to stir this. Now, if I didn't wait so long to start this video after I had mixed my resin, wouldn't have been an issue, but I wanted to get everything ready and then realized, oh, that is way dark. Ooh, maybe that wasn't a good idea to put the brown in there. Well, it's on the bottom, so I'm not worried about it. And I'm gonna do a thin coat. Probably not even gonna need all this, but you can see how stringy that is getting. Is not good. This is curing too fast, which is a good thing for you guys, because that means we can unmold this a lot faster. Because really, I don't have anything else to do. There's no painting like we did with all the jackal or the witch hut. There's nothing. It's just cure and demold. So this is going to be a nice, easy, quick one to do. And I actually can't wait. I'm really hoping this isn't going to ruin it, because I'm gonna be so sad. So sad. One more glob, and that should be good. And we just need to hit it with some rubbing alcohol to pop some of these bubbles and let it set. And I'm gonna find something to do with the rest of that resin I have before it completely, oh, I forgot. Okay, hopefully I did not just ruin that sinker. So I took the top off and then I just hit it with some rubbing alcohol. Well, we're gonna find out. I do not recommend you hitting the sinker with the rubbing alcohol, by the way, without putting the top on. But I didn't want to seal it, just in case. Not that it looks like I overfilled the thing, but better safe than sorry. Put that on. This is gonna be good. Alright. I'm going to throw this in the curing machine, and we will be back when this is fully cured, which shouldn't even be long for me. We'll see you then. Alright, we are back. I'm pretty sure that sat for at least an hour or 2. And of course, I kept checking this as I noticed it started to shift. And I put it back, and I checked it like for a good hour. And it didn't move, and of course I had to run to the bathroom, so, you know, I wasn't paying attention to it for a little while, and I come back, and of course it shifted, and then it's pretty much hard. Well, it's still soft, but I am not moving. That's not going anywhere. So we are going to demold this. I'm fine with it being off-centered, like we had. The jackal was off-centered. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm gonna do the top first. Now this is still really hot. I literally just took this out of the curing machine. I should let it cool. I really don't have the patience to let it cool. So we are gonna try and get this out as easily as possible, or as gently as possible, I should say, and not scratch this because it's still soft in some areas. And oh darn it, there's a bubble right there. But it filled in with some of the mica powder, so it's not crazily obvious, but it is, well, it is a big stopper. Hopefully we won't notice it. Everything else looks amazing. That's like super pretty, nice metallic copper color. I think we did copper. Yeah, we did copper. I think this is gonna look really good on the bottom. Let's get the bottom out. You can see the spot that I missed. See, with this kind of mica powder, it's hard to notice any bubbles, and I thought I got all of it. Apparently, I missed a huge spot. So, that's good to know. Definitely be very, very conscientious about whether or not you got all of the air bubbles out. And take your time to make sure they're all gone. Alright, this is going to be a huge pain in the butt to get out. And again, it's still soft, so I don't want to warp this. can just roll it on out. I'm off camera, I apologize. This mold is giving me some serious hard. There we go. Oh, that's bending, ding, ding. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that is looking so cool. I think this is the biggest trinket jar I've seen so far. Granted, we're turning into a light. So I think this is bigger than the pumpkin. If I can remember where I put the pumpkin. Let me put the light on first, then I'm gonna grab the pumpkin and compare it. I know it's definitely bigger than the pumpkin. It's definitely taller than the pumpkin. I don't think it's wider than the pumpkin, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit way more in this little, it's a big trinket box. It got a little warped around here, but that should be fine. All right. Oh wow, you can see the light so bad. Okay, maybe if I do this again, I might make this a little more hazy so you don't notice the light as much. But other than that, this is beautiful. I think that's really cool. I haven't seen anybody else do the trinket boxes like this so far. I'm not going to say no one has yet, but definitely. Where'd that come from? It must have been a scrap piece. Okay, so definitely haven't seen anyone turn these trinket boxes into light, and I am going to do a whole bunch all the way up until the end of the year, so stay tuned for that, definitely. But these are coming out fairly nice. This kind of looks more like a light bulb. But I will have some final photos of this beautiful little acorn. It'll probably look way better in the dark. I'm not going to turn the light off to show you. I do want this to finish curing because, again, it's still soft in some areas. So when that happens, I will definitely get some final photos for you guys. I'm going to put that protective sheet back in so I'm not wasting the battery. This top is actually kind of heavy. But, so that is it for today. If you liked the video, subscribe, hit the bell. It'll let you know whenever I post a new video. Make comments below if you want to see some seasonal items. If you want to see some, you know, shoot me a comment. That bubble actually is not too bad, by the way, so I don't know if I can fix that. But anyways, so definitely shoot me a comment if you want to see me do anything special. My company motto is anything magical, mystical, and mythical. So I am down to do like folk stuff, mythology. All right, well, that's it for today. I will have the link in my descriptions for my shop, my online store, as well as my Etsy shop. You will find all these cool handmade items on my Etsy store. Check them out. Everything is fairly reasonably priced, and as you can see, I do my best to get these to look phenomenal as much as possible for you guys. So I will see you in the next video. Blessed be. Bye.